Hi, this is Connie from Prosperity Finance. I hope you're doing well this week. In my last video, I talked about when should we pay interest only on our loan. Today, we're going the opposite way, and let's talk about when should we pay principal and interest rather than paying interest only. We have 5 points. Number 1, for your family home, it's better to pay principal and interest. The reason being is your family home should be the most important assets you want to protect. So the sooner we can pay off the loan, the sooner we can discharge from the bank, and we can, make it mortgage-free to protect the assets. And there's another reason is the interest on the family home is never, tax-deductible. So there's no benefit to pay interest only, and you should be able to afford principal and the interest. Otherwise, we shouldn't take the loan in the first place. Number 2 is to do with the tax. As you know, under the current government, if you purchase rental property from 27th March 2021, unless it's a new property or you rent it to Housing New Zealand, you can't deduct interest as expense to receive tax. So if you have any property loan like that, then you probably want to pay principal and the interest because there's no benefit to pay interest only. You want to get rid of it as soon as possible. Or if you own rental property which were purchased before the 27th of March 2021, even though you still have 4 years to deduct interest, but it's on the decreasing kind of a scale. So if your family home already paid off, then you can start paying down the loan for this property because eventually this loan cannot be tax deductible. Unless we change the government and the policy can be removed, that's another story. But given the current situation, probably wise to start paying down principal for these loans. The number 3 point is if you already pay off the loan for your family home and all the tax status are equal, then you probably can consider paying down the smaller loan first. The reason being is once you pay off that loan, then you can discharge the security because the loan is no longer exists. That way will help you further protect your assets because the bank has no control over that security. Number 4 is to maximize your borrowing capacity. Now, if you want to have an interest only, then your borrowing capacity will be reduced. In New Zealand, the maximum loan term is 30 years. If you have 5 years interest only, then you only leave 25 years to pay principal and interest. With the same income, 25 years would allow you to borrow less than if you have 30 years to pay principal and interest. So the longer the interest only term, the less loan you can borrow. So if you are really tight on your budget, it's probably better to pay principal and interest so that you can maximize your loan. Having said that, you also need to balance your cash flow. If you're going to buy an investment property, especially it can be tax deductible, like it's a new build, etc., you don't really, want to have all the loans on principal and interest. Otherwise, your cash flow will become an issue because the rent, given the current interest rate, you're probably unlikely to cover, the finance cost and other associated costs like insurance rates, maintenance, all that. So you have to contribute from your own pockets. So it's really about balancing your borrowing capacity and your cash flow. The last point I want to make is if you have an interest-only loan and it's about to coming off interest-only term, you may not be able to eligible for interest-only extension. So that's the last situation when you can't have interest-only. Now, like I mentioned in my last video, if you want to have an interest-only loan, you will be subject to the credit policy. So the bank will assess your situation as if it's a new application. As you know, the current lending policy are really strict. You may not be able to get interest-only extension. So unfortunately, you may be forced to pay principal and interest on your loan. So this is the last point when your loan can't have interest only. So I hope you find these 5 points useful or at least make aware of them when you consider your loan structure. So as you can see, we talk about the benefit of having interest-only loan from the last video. We also talk about, when should we pay principal and interest. So there's really no black and white answer which is better. It really depends on your situation and your goals. So if you want to find out what's best for you, it's probably better to get in touch with us and we can make a tailored solution for you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you can get some value from this video. We look forward to seeing you at next video. Until then, take care. Bye for now.